We'll record tonight, so we are recording now. And welcome to the summit. So you all might not know why you're here. So I wanted to make sure everybody was crystal clear on what the summit is, what we're going to be doing over the course of 50 days, probably 50 plus days. We are going to not have the summit on the last day of the month for March and April. And I think we will finish up on May 1st will be our last official day. We'll play that by ear as we get closer, but just letting you know the time span of what we're talking about here. And then let me tell you about what this is, what we do, why we do it. And then after that, what we'll do is we'll talk about what it is that we're going to track each day. So we're not, I told everybody, don't worry about having numbers for today for this event that we're chatting about right now. Let me mute everybody. We got a rogue unmuter. All right. So what's the, all right. Whoever is unmuted, I need you guys to police that yourself. Look and make sure you are muted. All right. Thank you. Okay. So what the purpose of the summit is it's for discipline is ultimately what it's all about. If you were just on Power Hour, I talked about the simplicity of our business and what it is that we do. And the thing after you get the basics, which are have a why, have a list, be able to build rapport, being able to pique interest, and being able to edify the proof and pass the ball, those steps are what you do as a new person. Once you get those steps down, pretty darn easy on what it is that we do. The hard part, the part where we say, you know, that's simple, but it's not easy. The easy thing comes into what's up here. And 50 days over many, many, many years of Mr. David Daniel and I and a couple of others, what we learned is that 50 days is the magic amount of time. It's more than 30 to be able to truly establish a habit. And 50 is just the right amount to be able to get the activity, get in there. And then after that, for people to make a decision afterwards. If it doesn't stick after 50, 60 days, 70 days, 90 days, 180 days, ain't going to matter. I promise you. 50 days, it's like 7-minute abs. Well, why not 6-minute abs? No, it's got to be 7-minute abs. That's just why. It's 50 days. A summit is 50 days. So that's why we do 50 days. Now, what is it that we're accomplishing on this is to ingrain these habits so that not only do you know what to do, you're able to look into your own business and understand the numbers of your business. And if those numbers are not doing what they need to do, I'm going to give you the tools so that you can self-correct the issues in what it is that you're doing. If you think about this business as a pipeline of oil that's going through, and each segment of the pipeline, certain things have to happen. And as the oil's going through, if you ain't doing the first segment right, it doesn't matter how good you do segments 2 through 7. If segment 1 screwed up, it's got a big old gaping hole in it, the oil is not going to go through the pipeline. If it's broken at step 3, if it's broken at step 7, we got to be able to figure that out. And so first off, you got to have awareness of, okay, I didn't even know there were segments. I just thought we were doing this business, getting business partners, getting customers. So what this does is it breaks it down into pieces that are manageable. It lets you know the major moving parts. If you've been on a Power Hour, you know what some of those major moving parts are. You got to have a why, you got to have a list. But then after that, what is it that you do on a daily basis? What is the activity that you're doing? When somebody says, hey, did you work your business today? Yeah, I listened to some, Tony Robbins. Does that count? I thought about my why some more. Does that count? It counts as you did something for your business, but it was not an income bringing activity. And a lot of times we get real good at fixing our desk and cleaning this thing up over here. And then, if y'all look at my desk, holy smokes, it is not organized at all. Okay. Why? Because that doesn't make me any money. It really doesn't. So I want to do the things that are making money. I want to do the things that we can focus on that are actually building the business. And so what we do is we're going to track. Jerry's got one of them offices too. That's good. So what we want to do is we want to be able to track what it is that we're doing. First, we got to track it. Once we track it, then we can see if it's working or not. And that's a key thing about business. And a lot of people say, man, why do you want me to track my numbers every day? Because if you're not tracking your numbers, you are not doing a business. You are doing a hobby. There is not a business on planet Earth that is anywhere near being successful that does not have metrics, that does not track their numbers. So you got to know what things to be able to track. Now, which things do you need to track? Do you need to track, how many people you called in a certain area code? No, that's not something that's going to really be useful information. You want to track the things that you know that are a part of this process, a part of this pipeline to be able to do. And that's what this is all about. Okay? So once you get that concept, that's why we're going to track our numbers. The other reason that we're going to do this, why are we doing it so late, Casey? Well, because this time of year, there is some crazy activity going on. I've already done 3 Zooms today for being able to do presentations. It's insane. Everybody is blowing up and getting people in front of the information. When that happens, there's got to be a time to be able to get everything else in. We have the power hours. We have my the shooter group that I do as well. That's from 9 to 10. That's when people are done with all their stuff. That's when they're usually out of work. Sorry, Doug. And then that allows everybody to be able to get on. Okay, that's for Houston time, and that's where the majority of the organization is. And then everybody else, you got Magda here in New York. We got folks from all over. I'm not even seeing the second page yet. We got 3 pages. Just kidding. 51. I thought this thing capped at 50, so that's cool. We got people all over the place. East Coast, West Coast, North Coast, South Coast. So, all right, very cool. So that's the time that we're going to do it in. It's also a pain. I didn't do this where it's a convenient time. I'm doing this where it's hard. Straight up, being honest with you. Casey, that's stupid. That's cool. Don't care. Because the value that you're going to get, when I was sharing this with some people, it was so, I know I have it dialed in. When I start sharing this with people and they're like, that have already done the summit one time with me, and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to freaking do it. Damn it. I'm going to do it. Right, Haley? So that's when you know you're going to get something good at it. I promise you. If you participate in this thing and you're consistent in your participation and you're open to the coaching, this will literally change your business and send you on a trajectory that you've never been on before. Can I guarantee it's going to make you successful? No, because I don't know the people that you're prospecting. But beyond that, I can guarantee that it's going to make you successful in this, without a doubt. And if you let me, I'll help you on the people that you're prospecting to and get you into what I like to call the right fishing pond. Some of you are fishing into this little like mud puddle that's got one, blind crawfish in it. And that's the one that y'all are fishing in. We got to get some of y'all into a better pond. Okay? Because it doesn't matter how well you track your numbers, you're fishing in the wrong pond, you ain't going to get anything good out of it. Okay? So that's one of the things we'll work on too. Now, why the summit? Why did we call it the summit? Well, Miss Magda Medina got me a very cool thing. And it's also The 7 Decisions. It's a book by Andy Andrews. And he wrote The Traveler's Gift. And then he wrote, I think it was called The Final Summit. I don't even remember the name of the book. But the whole thing was about ascending to another level, the final summit. What are we trying to reach? That final pinnacle in our organization. And the reason that I brought this up is because we've been going up the side of this mountain for some time. Some of you just got on board this little expedition. Some of y'all, were down at base camp when we first decided that we were going to go up this mountain. Once you decide that you're going to go up a mountain, that's the first decision. You look up there and you go, whoo, that is a long ways up. Screw it, let's do this thing. Now, some of you jumped on board. You didn't have any warm clothes. You didn't have no food. You didn't have a backpack. You said, let's just figure this thing out. We'll fashion a jacket on our way up or something. I'm cool with that. Now, some people, as they're going up this mountain, when you get together in this thing and you go up on an expedition, first you got to just get your mindset on it. You just got to go, I'm doing this. And so tonight we're at base camp. We haven't taken off. We're going to take off in the morning. But you guys got to sleep on it and decide, are you going to be there tomorrow to take off? If you are, cool. If not, this is something I want everybody to understand. Completely cool. Not everybody is ready to go up Mount Everest. It's going to be hard. It's going to be trying. You're like, Casey, it's a Zoom. What the heck? Yeah, if it was just that, you would be right. But something happens when you get a group of people going down, and then you get to a point where it's like, I cannot let these people down. It becomes something that's bigger than you. Here's the deal. If you were just going to go up the mountain, no big deal. You'd quit 3, 4, 6 days into it. Maybe you make it 2 weeks, but you ain't going to do it the whole time. What keeps people what keeps people moving together are the servant leaders. If you're a servant leader, you're going to enjoy this. If you're not, you're not. And that's cool. I don't want anybody to think that that is some way means that you can't participate in what it is we're doing as a team. What we're doing as a team is we're impacting lives. If you impact one life, God bless you. You are a success in this organization. If you impact 1,000 lives, God bless you. You impacted more. But each of you are just as important because you impacted lives. I want everybody to know that. I truly do mean that. But the ones that want to go all the way with this thing, the ones that have their whys really, really burning in them, the ones that want to they see this thing, they see others making it, they see other success, they see new cars popping up, they see people winning, they see people getting common checks, they see their check growing but not as fast as they want to, they see other people driving around in Lamborghinis and just Rolls Royces and Maseratis, and they're just like, what do they have that I don't have? Nothing. The only difference is they just kept doing it. That's what this is about. So for those that want that, for those that want to be a part of an organization that's going to go up the side of this mountain, the summit is for you. Now, when you decide it's going to be for you, here's what we're going to do. We're going to rope up. We're all going to get attached to each other. That's why I want everybody's video to be on, unless you know you're somewhere that you shouldn't be on video, or you don't have a camera or whatever, you know, but I would prefer that you're got your video on, because I want everybody to see who they're roped up to. I want you to recognize, I want you to see all the funny little quirks that they have. I want you to see when some of them pass out, because that's going to happen. Some of you are going to, someone's going to have some wine and spill it on them. I mean, you can see all kinds of good stuff in these things. I want you to see all that. I want you to see the other human being that's over there. So that's one of the prerequisites. You got to have your video on. And then when you get roped up, you're going to go up this mountain. Everybody's going to be fired up. You're going to be so excited. You're going to be jacked. And then day 2 is going to happen. And you're like, okay, I got this. And then day 3 is going to happen. And then it's going to be Saturday night. And you're going to be tired. You're going to want to go out with your friends, or you want to go to bed, depending on your age. And then you're going to go, is this worth it? And you get to make that decision. You drop out, I'm cool with it. You ring the bell, it's you ringing the bell. I'm not going to ring it for you. If you choose to jump off of this mountain, the mountain's going to get some of you. I'm telling you that right now. Guaranteed, the people that start, not all of you are going to finish. Sometimes there's going to be things that happen on the side of the mountain that you have no control over. You might have some family emergencies occur. You might have some so crazy that they kick you off this mountain. And right now, you don't think it's possible that you would leave this mountain. I'm so in, Casey. I'm going all the way to the top, until life hits you square between the eyeballs and knocks you out and knocks you off the mountain. No worries with that. I want y'all to understand that. Just because it knocks you off the mountain, hey, some people were really well trained going up Mount Everest and didn't make it. Some of them are still up there. Okay? That's going to happen. So I want everybody to know what you're getting into. There's a chance that you won't finish. I just want you to agree with yourself that it's not going to be you that takes yourself off. If you have a doubt that you're not going to finish, then don't start. Don't even go up the side of the mountain. I'm telling you that right now. I don't want anybody going up on this expedition that does not completely, utterly know that they're going to make it to the top. And even then, some things are going to happen, and I'm okay with that. But don't start with a doubt in your mind. Make the decision that you're going to go. Make the decision that you're going to be open to this. Make the decision that you want this bad enough that your why is compelling you to do this crazy thing. even though you're not really quite sure what you're getting into. That's that part. Now, once you're up on the side of the mountain, no one's going to kick you off the mountain except you or life. But even then, you still have a choice, unless, unfortunately, you literally pass away. Then you don't have a choice. But that's about the only one that you don't have a choice in. It could be so compelling that, Casey, it's not even a choice. It's still a choice. I want everybody to agree with that statement. It's still a choice. And I just want you to know no one's going to think less. Okay? But the only way that you're going to make that choice, the only way that you're going to come off the mountain is you make the choice to literally grab a knife and you cut below you on all the people that are roped up underneath of you, and you slice that rope off, and then you reach above you and you slice that rope, and then you fling yourself off the mountain. That will be your decision. Okay? If that happens, if you choose to do that, no worries. Like I said, this ain't easy. And that doesn't mean I don't want you to go try it again in the future. I haven't looked at everybody on here. I don't know if we have some people that started the last summit that didn't finish that are on here. I hope we do. I hope we have some people that said, you know what, dang it, I didn't make it the last time, I'm going to do it this time. So I'll look through and see who was on. All right. Everybody good so far? Thumbs up if you're good so far. All right. So let's get into what it is that we're actually going to track. And I'm going to go back in time and I'm going to show you what we did last time. Yeah. All right, just about there. 1 second. My poor little internet isn't making it. There we go. All right, so for you that track your numbers already, this is going to look very, very similar. And this is all we're going to do as far as what you need to be able to type in is your numbers. And they're going to be a little bit of a difference from these, but we are going to have a separate page that we're going to track this. You'll notice that last time we started this on the 12th of the month, and we went for 50 days. So it's going to be the same. I'm going to show all of this. We're going to have each person that chooses to be on the summit. I'm going to have their name, and we're going to have your QV, your CV, number of reach outs, rapport, so on and so forth. What you're going to do is we're going to do this a little different. I'm not entering the numbers this time. Okay, that was a massive burden to do that. I was fine with doing that, but I think everybody's got it now and they'll be able to do it. And I found out a way to protect the sheet. So you all are going to be entering your own numbers and we're going to track those. So if you notice what happened was in this spreadsheet, you got to be really careful when you're entering your numbers that you just stay in your area. Okay, it's very easy to get off and go mess with somebody else's numbers or mess with some formulas and you'll screw some things up. So I want everybody to be very careful in putting their numbers in. Okay, I'm going to create a new page. It's going to be a Google Doc spreadsheet, which is called a Google spreadsheet. I will give you the link. You will have access to be able to go in and enter in your information. And it will be expected of you to enter that in on a daily basis. And I would like for everybody to have that in 1 hour before we start the summit each day. Okay, that will allow me time to get in there and do some pre-work on the nights that I'm able to do that I don't have power hour. Okay, so you're going to need to enter in your information. I'll send this out so everybody can jump on and they'll be able to start putting in their names, all that good stuff, and put in their values. Okay, so what are the things that we're tracking? We're going to look at all of these and then we're going to look as a group. We're going to see how many that each individual person did. So for instance, reach outs on day 1, There were 2 reach outs that I did. I built rapport with 2 people. I piqued one of their interests. I had a whole bunch of 3-way setups I did. So these numbers are going to be in there, and there's going to be an explanation at the very, very top on what each of these things are. And you're going to fill that out for each person. And then what we do is on the reach outs, I added up every person that was in the summit. I added up all of those. So that day, if you look at everybody, David Daniel had 56 reach outs in one day. Remember that part where I said everybody gets real excited on day one? We had 239 reach outs as an expedition that we all reached out. Altogether, there was 165 rapport building steps that were done. We piqued 61 people's interest that day. Moving on down, we got 4 customers that day. We had 2 business partners that day. Where did that come from? From the people, each individual's individual number, and it shows what the group did. Over time, I was able to look at and see what individuals were actually doing. So let's use Mr. Eddie Blacknell as an example. For the whole expedition, if you look at what Eddie did, of the almost 7,000 reach outs, Eddie was responsible for 159 of those in 50 days. He was responsible for 190 rapport building, 79 people he piqued, 37 3-ways he got set up, so on and so forth. I'm able to look at your numbers as that's happening, and I'm going to give you feedback in real time with you saying, here's what I see. I'm going to ask you questions about how your day went. And all of this is going to be based on you doing the honor system, because if you fake your numbers, you're absolutely doing yourself a disservice. Some of you will be inclined, I'm just being honest with you, you're going to be inclined to fake your numbers. You're going to look at that and you're going to feel bad about those numbers, and you're going to want to put a different number in. All that's doing is hurting you and hurting your entire organization. Don't do that. Put the true numbers in. Be open to the coaching. Be cool if you put zeros. There are days in here. Let me go down and see if we have a couple examples. There were some where some people didn't get any numbers in for the day. There are some people that were missing in action. Here's somebody that said they were all in and they never even got out of base camp. Now, I'm not going to kick these people. I'm going to track the fact that they aren't there. They might show up on the last day. I'm cool with that. They got caught up. They caught up with us going up the mountain. And that's okay. So we're going to track all those things. And when we track that, I'm going to be able to go in. So it's your job to be able to track those. It's your job to go in here and say, I had so many reach outs. I had so many reports. I had so many peaks, so on and so forth. Now, there's going to be a couple of changes to this, and I'm going to set that up, and that's going to be ready for you guys to enter tomorrow. But I need to know who's going to be on there, and I'll get the spreadsheet all set up for you. So what I need from you all is, if this sounds good, I want to tell the rest of the story on where this came from. So back to the lore of where this was. Last year, we had, for those of you that are new, and for some of y'all, you already heard this, but maybe it'll be good for a reminder for you. When we came out of ILA last year, we were on absolute fire, absolute momentum. Engineered, we were blowing things up. And what happened was that there were some major changes that were done. Flores had come out. We lowered the price of the products. And when that happened, there was a lot of changes in the compensation plan. And a lot of people freaked out, plain and simple. And there was a lot of change. And whenever there's change, human beings don't do so well with change. That's just all there is to it. We got things squared away. Everybody got a handle on what was going on. We started growing again. We were blowing it up. And then a hurricane hit us. And that devastated Houston. And that's where the majority of our organization is. And then we started building that up again. And then we got things moving. And what had happened was, if you look at it, we're going up the side of this mountain. We can literally see the pinnacle of the mountain. And a storm comes in. And we got to hunker down, get in our shelter tents. And when we came out of our shelter tents, we went up a little bit more, and another storm, literally freaking storm, came. And we got in our shelter tents again. And when we opened up and we looked on October 12th, we saw clear sky, clear path, and you saw all the parts that needed to be done to be able to go up to the top of the mountain. And on October 12th, we started the engineered momentum. And as a result, we did the summit. And I think we started with 20 something people, and I think we finished with maybe 16, 17 people, something like that. We had more than that. We had 28, I think we started, and we ended with, I don't know, 18, 19, somewhere in there. When we finished, some people after that continued on and put those things into motion. Some people, life happened to them. Completely cool. It happens. Those people are still here. That's what's really, really awesome. Had a huge effect, I see, and I love that. Life is going to happen to you, by the way. If it hasn't yet, get ready. It's going to happen at some point. The wind's going to blow on us all. The fact that they're still here lets you know the set of their sail. So after that point, we took off. And there was a group of those that we continued on even further with, and I started showing some more and more detail. And then we started engineering some crazy good stuff. Everything that we did out of this summit changed a lot of people's lives. And as a result of that, you see that we had a new Sapphire that popped in December on New Year's Eve. And then after that, she got car qualified in January. And as a result of that, that momentum that was brought from dead standstill in the organization because of the storm, we came out of the wreckage, we opened up that shelter tent, we saw the clear path up the mountain, and we took action, and it started with this summit. And everybody that has been successful up to the point of hitting Sapphire and some very, very close to Ruby already was as a result of the summit. Guaranteed, can be completely tracked back. I can show you the history of every single one of them. So I'm telling you, the promise of what this will do is it will change everything about your business. It will make it crystal clear about what it takes to be successful in this business. It will instill upon you the discipline of what it is to track your numbers and to continue to take action on a daily basis while you've got your normal life going on. And it allows you to follow the true system that we have in place. And literally, we have a factory that creates jades. It is about building jades in this organization. It is about you doing the set steps, which we're going to track the numbers on. We're going to show how if you don't do these things, these other things can't happen. If you skip a step and you try to not do the edification, if you try to go straight to the presentation, you try to send them straight to Team Fusion Family without doing the inoculation talk, how the numbers don't work. Will you get lucky every once in a while? Absolutely. Will it duplicate? Guaranteed it will not. And by tracking these numbers, I can condense all this down. It's not luck. It is pure freaking science. It is pure math. And if you'll follow these steps and you give a long enough sample size, I guarantee you will be extremely successful in this business. I don't say that about anything. I never say guarantee. With this, I can tell you that. It's just mindset, and that's going to be able to help it. It's science, yo. What was that? Breaking Bad? So that's when we were going up the mountain, the goals of the summit were to make sure that not only did you hit Jade, you bring in, I don't care if you're Jade, I don't care if you're Emerald, I don't care if you just got started 30 minutes ago in the organization. It's about you bringing in 3 new people. It's about you bringing in 3 new customers and running the power play. We did the power play before the power play was even known as the power play. That lets you know how in tune we are with Kirk Hansen. We're mind melded with him. And it's a fact. So do the power play. We called it something else when we were doing it in our group. It's about you getting 3. Now, the other thing I want to happen is I want you to make sure that those 3 that you bring in, go get 3. How do you do that? You make sure that they know how to do these steps. How do you teach somebody else how to do something if you don't know how to do it? The purpose of this is to make double darn sure that you know how to do it. It's going to require you going out and doing some more steps. That's what we did on the last one. In this one, I want you guys to focus on building Jades. If you're already a Jade and you have people in your organization, if you can find some people in your organization that are serious about this, I want you to make sure that they're doing their steps. I want you to be an advocate for them. They're in your organization. Help them. But I also want you, unless you are a Sapphire or higher, I want you to focus on you bringing in some new blood. So if you're a Sapphire, and I'm not saying if you're a Sapphire, you can't bring in new people. Sapphires are going to bring in new people anyway because they're Sapphires. All right. But you're probably going to be so darn busy working with your team that you ain't going to have time to do all that. But if you do, cool. Dave's going to sponsor people. I'm going to sponsor people. I sponsored quite a few last time. Dave did too. I beat him, but he did pretty good. By the way, if you're ever curious how to motivate Mr. David Daniel, that's how you do it. Get a group of 53 people and you call him out. Love you, brother. So that's what your goal is, to be able to hit the summit. Casey, how do we hit the summit? Is it about hitting diamond? No, it's not. I promise you, it's not about diamond. It's about building jades. Diamond's just going to happen. But jades are intentional. And if you do enough jades, you can call your shot. You are not going to sponsor your way to diamond. I guarantee it. If you could do it, I would have already done it. Dave would have already done it too. You can sponsor your way to Sapphire. But it's better to duplicate your way to Sapphire. Right, Sherry? Right, Valerie? Right, Jake? Right, Karen? Right, Don and Cheryl? It's a whole lot more fun doing it that way. And it's about making those jades. So your focus is summarize all this and wrap it up. You're going to track your numbers every day. You're going to be on this Zoom every day. You're going to make sure your numbers are in by an hour before the start time. You're going to make sure that you get a 5 in the box, is what I like to say. If you add up all your numbers for the day, you need 5. That could be 5 reach outs. Maybe you reached out yesterday and now you're building rapport the next day. That's a 5 in the box. Maybe you peak all 5 of them the third day. That's a 5 in the box. Maybe you reach out to 2, you peak 2, and you follow up with 1. That's a 5 in the box. Can you do 57 a day? Yes, I think Jake had a couple hundred in the box days. Why does Jake have an amazing blowing up organization? Because he did that type of action. You want to see how your organization is going to be, start tracking your numbers now, and then you can say what's going to happen 3 months from there and what your organization is going to look like. It never happens the same day. You want to know why your organization is how it is right now? Go back 3 months and see what you were doing. Guaranteed. So that's why we're going to track these numbers and push through and make sure that that happens. You're going to hit a 5 in the box. You're going to, when you're on the summit, we're going to go through, and there's a lot of people in this thing, okay? And I'm going to try and come up with a good strategy on how I hit everybody, but I am going to try and keep it to an hour. I'm going to try and do some training. I want to talk about at least one topic, but we'll see how that goes. I might just leave that for power hour, so it'll be a little fluid there. And I'm going to go in. Is it going to be boring sitting there hearing me ask, you know, if you're the 37th person I'm going to talk to that night, that means I'm going to be able to spend about a minute with y'all, or we're going to have to shake it up and do it differently. And I take, you know, we got group A, B, C, and D or something like that so I can give more time. Do I want all of y'all in there? Yes, I want you to hear what they're doing. I want you to be invested in the other person. I don't want you, you know, watching the baseball game or the football game or basketball game or whatever sports are on right now. I honestly couldn't tell you that. I think basketball is on right now because it's March. If you're watching that, I'm fine with it in your background, but I want you plugged in. I want you paying attention to what the other person's saying. I want you to look at that person and listen to what they're saying. I don't need you to give them that feedback. I want you to do it in your head that you say, look, I've done things like that too. And I want you to either say, I wonder what the answers are going to be, or I want you to provide the answer so that you would be able to train that person if you were having a one-on-one with them. Because this business isn't just about what you're going to do. It's about you teaching the other person what to do. And so that's what's important about you being plugged into this and hearing all that. Some of you know all this stuff and you're still a glutton for punishment and you're here. Mr. David Daniel does not need to hear me tell him what to do on these steps. I'm still going to ask him how it went because I'm going to hopefully glean some stuff that he can share that's going to be able to help you guys. But I'm not asking him these questions because he doesn't know what he's doing. Or maybe I have an observation that's a blind spot to him and I do offer him something. And he knows how to do all that, but he's going to be on every one of these as well. Why? Because he understands how powerful this is. and he wants to be there with you guys to be able to achieve it too. A lot of the shooters right now are at that point as well, but they still have more to learn on that, and that's a really good training spot for them. And some of you guys are brand new in this thing. Some of y'all have been in a long time, and you haven't gotten the results that you want, and you're here, and I'm cool with that too. That's freaking awesome that you're plugged in on this thing. But that's what we're going to be able to do every night. So we'll go through that, and we'll be able to talk about your numbers. I'm going to ask you questions, and I want you to be able to put 5 in the box. A couple other ground rules. Do not, write these on your notes right now, do not say the words, I know. That's the only thing that's going to set me off. Don't tell me you know. I want you to pay attention to the words that you're using, and that is an important one for me. I don't want you to have that mindset. If it's in your vocabulary and you use it all the time, get rid of that. Stop saying that. There's always something you can get out of the situation, even if it is in your head saying, you are a dumbass. Why do you keep saying these things to me? What can I do to get you to understand that I actually know what I'm talking about? I'm good with that comment going on in your head, but don't say you know. That's not going to achieve anything. Learn from every situation that you can. The whole purpose of what we're doing here follows the plan, do, review, adjust methodology. It is the fastest way to learn anything. You can sit there and have training for it forever, or you can get in the mix and do it. It's vulnerable though. And I want it to be vulnerable. I want there to be 50 other people looking at you and you're like, holy crap, there's a lot of people looking at me and hearing what I did today. Because it becomes real then. It also gets you uncomfortable. That's half this business. That sharpens this thing. That gets you available in front of a group, and it's going to teach skills there too. You're going to get a lot out of that. You're going to be bulletproof. Dude, I don't care if you say yes or no. I just need a number in the damn box. What's it going to be? You'll get to a point where you don't have a chicken list anymore. There's nobody on this planet that you won't talk to. That's what I want to hone you guys into. But ultimately, it is about Jades. If you look, there are 54 people on this thing. I would say at least 90-something% of them are in my organization, and there are some that are not. And I am completely cool with you guys being in the being in this thing and tuning in, because we're able to learn from everybody in this thing. And with the numbers that are here, if you all, there's 54, doing some quick math, let's just say there were 30 of y'all that are in my organization. It's higher than that. If all of you would simply run the power play, this organization is well beyond diamond. And I promise you this, it's going to be really hard for you to hit diamond if this organization doesn't hit diamond first. Like mathematically freaking impossible. The way that you're going to hit diamond is not just by hitting diamond. It's by having X number of Jades in your organization. The way you're going to hit pearl is you're going to have 3 Jades in your organization. The way you're going to hit sapphire is to have 5 or 6 Jades in your organization. The way that you're going to hit ruby is you're going to have somewhere around 12 to 15 Jades in your organization. The way you're going to hit emerald is you're going to have somewhere around 25 Jades in your organization. Okay. The way you're going to hit diamond is you're going to have somewhere around 50 to 60 Jades in your organization. And that number is probably going to go down because we only have 2 lakes now. Just the math of it. So how do you get there? You look at the rank that you want to hit, and it's not about you going out and personally sponsoring all those people and making them Jade. It's about starting off with you getting about 4 to 6 people that are truly serious in your organization, finding those people and helping them hit Jade. Because everybody you sponsor is not going to be interested in hitting Jade. I'm just going to be blunt and honest with you. They're going to join. They ain't going to get launched. They ain't going to go to Power Hour. They're not going to go to the events. They're going to make every excuse in the world. They're going to ghost you. They're never going to return your phone calls. And it's going to happen even on $12.99 large package signups. You're going to sit there and you're going to go, are you freaking kidding me? And you're going to waste time and effort trying to figure that out. I'm just telling you up front, it's going to happen. When it happens, if it hasn't, it's gonna. And when it happens, you go, everybody repeat with me, isn't that interesting? And then what are you going to do? You're going to go look for that 4 to 6 people that want to go make this happen. Do not sign up for that class. That's right, Jason. All right? That's how you're going to move the organization. That's how you're going to move yours. That's how you're going to move the whole thing. We're all in this thing. We are absolutely tied at the hip. And even here's what's really, really, really cool. People sometimes say, Casey, why do you have people that aren't even in your team on this thing? Because when you hit diamond, by the way, you get a share of the company, by the way. They take a part of the entire global company and they set aside, I think it's 1.5% global revenue. They put in a little pie. If you're a diamond, you get a slice of the pie. If you're a blue diamond, you get another slice of the pie. If you're a green diamond, you get a couple more slices. And they keep doing that all the way through, I think, purple diamond, all the way through all the diamonds. Then, when you make it up, I think it's red diamond, they set aside another pie. You still get to eat out of that pie, but you get a second pie on the special table just for the red diamonds and above. And in that pie, I think it's about 0.5% of the entire company goes into that pie. And you get a slice of that pie too. And as you go up, you get more slices of the other pie. All ships rise on a rising tide, or pie. So help each other. If somebody needs assistance, if you hear something, don't interrupt the conversation as we're doing this flow, but write that down, reach out to them, send them a private message, send them something, encourage them. If you see somebody's having a bad day, pump them up, help them up, reach down and grab them, regardless on what team they're on. And we make this thing go. If everybody will get after this, we will set in motion something that I feel is lacking in the entire organization, but it will not be listened to until it's proven out further. It already works. It's already been proven. I just need it to be proven at a higher level. You guys are going to help me do that. Because when we get done with this, all of y'all are going to rank up. They're going to see the largest increase, organic increase in a very long time, because I've already proven this thing out. Now it's time for us to be able to show with you guys with your effort. But I don't care how good it is. If y'all don't take the effort, it ain't going to go. So that's the other reason of the summit. If you're going to rope up, go all the way. If you're not, no worries. All right. There are a lot of comments. I want to open up for questions. If you don't have any questions and you want to drop off, absolutely do so. The way that you let me know that you want to do this is I need you to send me a private message. Don't send it in any group. Don't send it where there's 6 of you all in a group and I'm in that group, and so don't do that to me. Send me a private message, Facebook Messenger. Don't send me a text. Send a private Facebook Messenger post to me that says I'm all in for the summit or kiss my butt or something like that. And what I'll do is I will assemble all of that, and I am going to create a Facebook Messenger group called the Summit, just so that we can have information that's regarding the people that say, yes, I'm in on this thing. I want to have a spot for you. And then we can have communication going to that, so we're not bugging everybody else. I don't want to irritate anybody else. If you're not in the summit, you don't need to know what we're doing. No problem. I'll have that group. It'll disband afterwards, so it won't go on forever. But it will be there, and that's where we'll be able to have chats. We'll be able to ask questions about how we post our numbers. What does this mean? And I want everybody to police that. I want everybody to help on that. On the thumbs up, be careful. I don't want you hitting the thumbs up thing just to make another post and another post. Just do the little small emoji where you can put a smiley face or a heart face, those types of things. I don't want everybody, trying to get crazy on policing that. Just do that and give them a private message. So we'll have that set up, and then that's where I'll let you know the link on how do you get in to post your numbers. I'll have that posted out in the morning, and then sometime in the evening tomorrow, you guys post what your numbers are. Let's just go ahead and start tomorrow. We'll go ahead and start tomorrow, and we'll figure out how many days that's going to be moving forward. So don't need to worry about your numbers tonight. Just let me know that you're in. Send me a private Facebook Messenger that you're in. I'll get you in. We'll have the numbers. You do need to put your numbers in for tomorrow, which is the 13th. So make sure your numbers are posted for day 1 of the summit, which will be March 13th. Make sure those are in before an hour before we start for your time zone. Okay, let's see what the questions are here. So if you need to jump, I know it's late. I don't want to save you on here just for questions. If you got it, go for it. And then if you got any questions, what happens if I'm working that night and can't get on the summit? Very good question. If you're working, you got late shifts, don't worry about it. Go ahead and post. I want you to post your numbers every time. But if you can't make it, you can't make it. What I would appreciate is if you will post to the group that says, I'm working tonight, can't make it. Don't just go missing in action on us. Okay? Sometimes that's going to happen. I'm going to mark that with a big old red line to say that you were missing in action that day. All right? And then leave that way. If you got your numbers, then put your numbers in. But make sure that you're posting your numbers and make sure you're there. If you're not there, I'm gonna slice through them, and that's going to jack your numbers. Just tell me if you're not going to be there, and that's cool. If you're missing in action, that's different. Okay, Canadians are used to mountains. You will see us up there. I like that, Doug. That was pretty good, buddy. All right. We need to know what all to track. I saw half the list, but would like to see all the categories. I will pull up the new list so that you know exactly what we're doing. Are we allowed to be a little late if we're just finishing up at work? Absolutely, guys. I have no worries with that. There's going to be a lot of life that's going to happen. Main thing is put your numbers in. I don't care what you're doing. I have literally been at the hospital and I put my numbers in. Why? Because it was important to me. Okay. I want it to be important to you. If I'm at the deer lease, I still get my numbers in unless I don't have an internet connection. Then I write them down and then I put them in after that. I don't want you to be, if you're on a 3-day trip, then you know what? Save up 3 days, put it in there, just let everybody know so that they know what's going on and you're not just being lazy. All right, let me share my screen again and I will show you what numbers we track. Oh, some of you are already on this list and you're going to ask, do I need to track my numbers in 2 places? Yes, you do. And it's going to be real easy because you just copy and paste it. These numbers here, Casey Salge's Top Champions, what that is, this is available to all of y'all right now if you want to be on this to track your numbers constantly. These are the things that we're going to track. I screwed that up somehow. We're going to track our reach outs. If you hover over reach out, it's going to tell you what a reach out's all about. It's engaging and reaching out to a suspect. Start with hello. All right. And then rapport. The suspect says hi back to you and a conversation is happening. This is continued once per suspect. So once you start the rapport building, you might need to build rapport on them for quite a while. Okay. But you're only going to put in there 1 per person that you're building rapport with. Okay. Once they say hi back, so you will continue building rapport for minutes, days, weeks until they give you something personal. And then you will attempt to peak. Then there's a fork in the road. You're going to peak them as a customer, or you're going to peak them as a business partner based on which path it went. I want to show this fork in the road so that we can see once you're at rapport, then it's either going to be customer or it's going to be business partner. All right. If you peak them on the customer, put that in there. If you peak them on the business partner, put that in there. If it's a business partner, then the edification needs to be done. And the edification is where you're going to say, hey, I need to get you on with my business partner, and you're going to pass them to the proof. Ideally, you're going to do that via Facebook Messenger or text, maybe even by phone, worst case scenario. Once that's been done, the edification has been done where you have edified the leader. Then you put a 1 in the check mark for that, in the checkbox for that, and then it's time for inoculation. For you that are doing the calls for your team, those are most likely going to be the shooters. If you're not a shooter and you're like, what are you talking about? Then you're not going to put anything in there for right now. Somebody, your proof person, is going to be doing this. And so this would be a way that when I track this, I haven't been doing a whole lot of reaching out and building rapport because I've got my hands full with 23 inoculations here that I've done just this month so far, and we're on the 12th day. All right. And then so on and so forth. All right. So what I will do is I will have all this information, and I will have it in a spreadsheet at the top that will show our total for the entire group on what we're doing per day and what we've done for the total expedition. And that's where it will have these same comments. And then you're going to send me a Facebook Messenger post that's going to say, I'm in on the summit. And then if I see that, I'm going to add a slot for you. And then you're going to be tracking your numbers. You might say, well, Casey, I'm tracking it here. Why do I need to do it in the other place? Because we're going to do the math on that differently, and it needs to be in there. So you need to put it in 2 places. Okay. If I don't see you putting it in the Top Champions, I kick your butt out. if you started and you haven't put your numbers in and it's gone for more than, I think I've done it for 5 days, I'm shrinking that down to 3. Unless you tell me, hey, don't kick me out of that thing, I'm going to kick you out of the thing. Can you come back the very next day? Absolutely. But I want you to know I look at these and it's important. And so if you're not getting your numbers in here, I'm going to delete them. So make sure you put them in there. If that seems harsh or irritating to you, I'm okay with that. All right. Jamie, does that make sense on the numbers on what we're doing? I didn't go all the way through. Inoculation. So you're probably not going to be putting anything on the inoculation. That's something that somebody else is going to be doing. On the add tag, after we get done, or if you're sending them to Wellness Simplified or sending them to DFY System, track that you're adding somebody there. Exposures. This is sending them to Team Fusion Family where they can watch the new video that was just released, or they're getting a Zoom presentation, or you sit down with them for a one-on-one or a two-on-one, or they come to a PBR. If you have 14 people at a PBR, then you have 14 exposures, okay? Follow-ups. This number, I don't mind with this number. Every time you do this, it's going to go up. I want you to keep following up. I want you to see that there's going to be somewhere between 5 to 12, sometimes 7 to 12 follow-ups before somebody makes, on average, a decision. When they result into a customer, we're going to put the customer in there. When they result into a business partner, then we're going to put that in there. When you launch somebody, you want to put that in there. And then regional tickets, when it's appropriate to track that, we'll do that. ILA tickets, that's going to be changed over to America's Convention. Personal development minutes, I want you all working on your personal development. I'd like you to spend at least 10 minutes a day on that. And when your business partner gets a business partner, and that's based on sponsor tree, okay? So Jamie, as an example, you brought on Brent. So that would be, you would put a 1 for your business partner here. And then when Brent sponsored David, you would put a 1 when you're over here because your business partner got a business partner. So ideally, you're going to have 3 in the box for business partner this month. And you're going to have a 9 down here when your business partner gets a business partner. You have 3 business partners. They should each get 3. So you should have 9 in that box. That's your goal. Okay? All right. Any other questions? Thumbs up if you are in for the summit. Cool. I see some sleepy eyes. Man, y'all are not. Ooh, better take some. There it is. Linda's getting after it. I like it. Excellent. Excellent. All right. That's it, everybody. If no more questions, we're going to call it a night. And this will be the cadence of what we're going to do. If you got any questions, you want to private message me, you can do that. Otherwise, we will see you all tomorrow, same time, same bat channel, 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Mountain, 8 o'clock Pacific. Yeah, I got those right. That was good. All right. I'm going to unmute the line so everybody can say good night, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Good night, everyone. Thanks.
Good
Good night.
Thank y'all.
Thanks,
Looking
Casey.
forward to it. Absolutely.
See you later.
Good night, everyone.
Take care.
Fun.
Save it. And well, I know. Season.